Okay, this is part 1A or 1B of making the surgical guide, which is this first part is essentially fabricating an occlusal splint which is stable in the mouth. So where we left off, we had just connected our grease pencil sketches using the B Surfaces add-on, and that leaves us with this kind of flat mesh, uh, or sorry, two-dimensional mesh, which roughly approximates the surface which we would like to seat on top of. So we'll take this time to organize some of our vertices. We'll call this bottom. So first, we'll select the non-manifold edges, which are just the outside edges, and we'll assign that. I don't know if we'll actually end up using this, but it's at least good to have them. While we're here, we might use the Loop Tools Relax. You can see that kind of rounds all these edges off. Next, we'll select the inverse of that. And actually, we'll just go ahead and select all of them. And assign, oh, very important, we want this to be 1. Assign, so. Okay, so now we'll select everything. We will extrude it. Hit Z to limit Z direction, and we'll type in 3. Type in 3 or 4 or 5 to get an even thickness in the Z direction. So that's not a, if we take a slice here, we'll see that that thickness is this way, not this way. But while we have these vertices selected, let's make a new group, call it top, and assign. Okay. So let's from that, let's select the bottom, and we're actually going to drag it up above the top. And the reason we're going to do that is because we're actually going to project it down onto the teeth. So really we just need to make sure that every vertex is above all of the teeth. So we'll come over here to modifiers, and let's add a multi-res. 1, 2, 3. Let's add a shrink wrap. This will be the bottom vertex group. Project Z just in the negative direction. And the first target will be the lower model. And the alternative target, the auxiliary target, will be the plane. Give that a moment. What we will do, we're going to copy this modifier. We're going to change the vertex group to the top group. We're going to move it above the multi-res modifier. So if this is looking a little tricky here, we just moved this shrink wrap modifier up. We'll move it up again. What we're actually going to do is we're going to the nearest surface point, we're going to give it a 3 millimeter offset. Okay, so what we've done is we've taken that, if we go into edit mode, we've actually moved the bottom up high and then subdivided it and then projected it down to the occlusion. The upper layer we've projected onto the occlusion but then stepped it off and then subdivided. So a little tricky, but if we come back into object mode and we hide the lower model, hide the plane, you can see we're left with a nice blocked out 2 to 3 millimeter thick appliance which will snap onto the dentition. You can obviously make this a little smaller. Maybe 2 millimeters might be a more appropriate thickness. And then to top it all off, we should add a smooth modifier. At the bottom here, probably 20 of these. But we don't want this to affect our occlusion, so we'll limit this to the top. And we'll make that one. So, here we have a rough occlusal appliance ready to seat and provide stability to our surgical guide. If we hit Z to look at this, see you could probably even get away with just 2 subdivisions. Yeah, that looks much more manageable. Okay, so I'm going to stop here.